There are a lot of types of grief, none easier than the other, but losing a child or a family member is simply unbearable when their death was the result of violence, because you're dealing with a whole host of emotions in addition to the grief. Tonight, the surviving families of children who were murdered with some powerful advice on losing and living through that unimaginable time. They are the faces of sons and brothers. Stephen Odom.
Stephen was 13 years old.
Claude Clyde Jones.
I lost my twin brother, Claude Jones.
Antoine Marquise Dingle Knight.
I lost my son August 11, 2014.
And Lewis Brown.
I lost my brother, Lewis Brown, when he was 15 and I was 4.
And inside the Lewis Brown Peace Institute in Dorchester, an afternoon of remembering how their loved ones lived, not how they died.
Stephen had a passion for basketball. He loved basketball, but he also loved music. He loved family and he loved his friends.
And he had a smile that would like lighten up a whole room.
You mean like yours?
Yeah.
He loved music. He wrote his own music. He sung. He had a beautiful smile.
And he was my kind of in-home advocate. He was the one who went to my parents when I wasn't getting my way.
The stories help fill the dark places of loss, and time provides healing and perspective.
Staying connected and giving back has been my force. You know, so I found that in helping others, I've unconsciously helped myself.
But it wasn't like that at the beginning, was it?
No, it wasn't. In the very beginning, it was very difficult because I didn't want my brother to just be gone, and that was all people knew about him, the way he left. And so we are a network of people, survivors, who give back, and that is my way of coping and living on.
Right after my loss, I went numb. It wasn't reality for me. Like, I couldn't get up and go to work. I couldn't eat. I couldn't.
Okay, you got this.
But you did.
And I did a lot of praying. What keeps me going now is members of groups, like different types of groups, and all of our women and men are affected by the impact that this homicide has placed upon us. So that's what it takes to become a part of that community. And when I get really, 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 really down, then I make it my business to get to one of his children so they can refresh the joy in me.
I had parents who never forgot they had living children, and who listened, who heard, and who allowed, I have a younger brother also, who allowed us to do whatever we needed to do and say whatever we needed to say to make sense of all of it. It's something that you never forget. You carry it with you. I seek support. I call folks who I know can talk me down sometimes. I don't do it alone.
It became really important for me to get up, because if I didn't get up, then Stephen's voice couldn't continue. Like, I felt like if I wasn't able to say that his life mattered, then no one would know that his life mattered, you know, because his life matters. And no, yes, he was taken on October 4th, but it doesn't end there. And that was my determination, that his life does not end on the sidewalk, and his death will not be in vain.
As a pastor, you're always there for others, but when tragedy knocks on your door, I don't remember that part of the class, if you will. But you're the forgotten griever. There should be a time where you have to grieve for yourself.
But I've seen some great things come out of these painful experiences.
I became a more courageous person, right? So that was a bad situation, but it healed. I'm a courageous person. I just I don't stay stuck, and I won't let it overcome me. So for me, that's me allowing my baby to be able. His death won't be in vain, but he can continue to help me live.
Every year, the Lewis D. Brown Peace Institute holds a very moving Mother's Day Walk for Peace to honor those who have died and those who go on living.